Hello book friends, I'm Allie and welcome to a weekly reading vlog. So yes, you heard that correctly. This is a weekly reading vlog. Happy December 1st. I wanted to try to do Vlogmas, but I'm not going to post every single day because that's way too much. So I decided that what I would do is that I would start weekly vlogging, and what I'm planning on doing is wrapping this up next Wednesday. And so instead of posting it on Wednesday, I'll be posting it on Thursday and then starting the next week on Thursday. And this will go this way up until Christmas, and Christmas is on Sunday. So I think it's on Sunday or Saturday. So this will be 3 weeks, 3 vlogs for Vlogmas, and I'm going to be doing Christmas, well, I don't have any more shopping, but wrapping presents. I've got plenty of that left to do, and we're definitely going to be making like some homemade cocoa, and I always find a new copy of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas for my kids. We always find a new one every year to read, so we've got quite a few around the house that I've just been collecting and holding on to every year. I wish that I had thought to like write the years in them for my children, but alas, I didn't even think to do that. But I might be able to go back and do that. That would be a fun little idea. We're going to be baking Christmas cookies closer to Christmas. We like to do sugar cookies and decorate them closer to Christmas, and just fun stuff like that over the next few weeks. Right now, I did not post the last 2 weeks because, well, the first week we just had a lot going on, and then this last week we got really sick, and I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but I'm still getting over, like, everybody in our house got sick, and this has been a whole entire week long being at home cooped up because we are all sick. And so my daughter's been home from school. She'll go back to school on Monday, and my husband's been home from work, and it's just been everybody here and feeling crappy, so I did not vlog anything. But I'm so glad I'm feeling better now because I'm gonna start vlogging now, and I have a whole stack of books. I haven't been reading very much. I've been reading just a little bit of The Way of Kings every day and a little bit of The Lost Metal, and let's see, there was one other book. Oh, I started The Holiday Swap. I don't know what I last talked to you guys about, but I've been rereading some old Christmas books that I really enjoy. I did start Just Like Magic. Sarah Hogel, I think, is the author of that, and I was absolutely loving it, but my audiobook, since I got sick, went back to the library, and I'm not going to have it back for, I don't know, like 3 or 4 weeks or something, unless it comes early, as it often does. So I am actually rereading The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox. I read it last year, and it was one of my favorites that I read last year, so I added it to my list of yearly books that I like to read during the holidays. And I want to start Dash and Lily here soon. It's another one of my favorites that I've been reading since like college, I guess. It's been a really long time. I read that book almost every year at Christmas. It's just been one of my favorite books for a long time. The show on Netflix, we've also been watching it, but it is really good. It's different, but in a good way. I like some of the changes that they made for the TV show. So if you haven't watched the show, it's on Netflix, and it is really, really cute. And it's like 10 episodes, I think, and it wraps up. It's the first book. And they were talking about doing a season 2, I guess, to follow the second book, but decided to cancel it. And quite frankly, I'm glad that they did, because I felt like I love all 3 books in this series, or in this trilogy, but I think that the first book is like the best, the most tried and true, best Christmas story, although the character development for the second and third books are also really, really good. If you're interested in that series at all, I do recommend it. It's YA, super cute story, but definitely worth the read during the holidays because it's got that perfect amount of Christmas cheer. So, I haven't started Dash and Lily yet. I was thinking about starting it today, but I have just been reading 2 chapters a day of The Way of Kings. I have it set up to finish by the end of December. Hopefully, that's the way that I'm planning it out. And then I am still reading Little Women, but I've put it down for a little bit just because with being sick, I haven't really felt like reading anything. So I've just read a couple chapters each day of Way of Kings. And I drug out a bunch of books this morning that I wasn't really sure what I felt like reading, but I just kind of got it in my head that there were these books that I was kind of interested in. So I will show those to you. I don't have those books next to me. They're in the living room. I just wanted to say hello, and then I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get those books and talk through those with you and try to figure out what I want to stick with today. I've been playing a lot of Pokemon since the last couple days, just being sick. The new Violet and Scarlet game, they are a lot of fun. I've been playing Violet, and I have really been absorbed into the gameplay. It's open world if you like Pokemon. It is different, but in a good way. I think that it's probably my favorite game since 3DS. I have always loved Pokemon for, well, not always. I've loved Pokemon for years and years. I was so excited for the new game, and now I think it's been out almost 2 weeks. I think it's almost been 2 weeks that it's been out, but it is a lot of fun. So if you're thinking about playing it, do it, because you won't regret it. It does have a lot of glitches. I know I've seen a lot of people complaining that the gameplay is a bit messy, and it can be a bit messy, but it's still one of those games that if you're nostalgic for Pokemon, it's not going to bother you to have a bit of the glitches, you know, that are happening with it. But it is lots of fun, and I am going to shut up and go show you the books that I am thinking about reading. Okay, so lighting in here is not the best, but first and foremost, I am still reading A Winter's Promise. It was just one of those that I put down while I was sick and haven't picked back up, as well as Little Women. But I am still reading it, and I am still enjoying it. I did get the audiobook from the library for, I think it's Once Upon a December. It's a Christmas book. It's one of the ones that I picked out for this year. I think I listened to like 2 or 3 pages. I haven't really got invested in it, and I'm not really sure that I want to right now. I kind of want to just finish the holiday swap. It has a lot of baking and stuff in it, and I was just kind of really feeling that. And then I want to pick up In a Holidays, because it is like, other than Dash and Lily, In a Holidays and Dash and Lily are my 2 absolute top favorite Christmas books, and those are the 2 that I've been looking forward to reading the most. So I want to maybe pick those up together whenever I finish the holiday swap, which I am a little over 100 pages into that one, and it's 320 pages, I think. So I might try to read another 100 pages of it today. I don't know. I'm all over the place. I have been all over the place for a while now, so what's new? I did get my Book of the Month box for this month, and I picked The Circus Train. This is by Amita Parikh. That's the best guess that I have. It looks really good. I also got Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by, I don't even know how to begin to pronounce that name. It's this one. I love this cover. It's so pretty. This was the book of the year for Book of the Month. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. I'm not planning on reading it anytime soon, so I guess we'll see when the time comes. I just thought I'd show you guys. That's what I just opened that box, and I just got those out. I did get a copy of Shay Earnshaw's new book, A Wilderness of Stars. It just came out on Tuesday, and this is the naked hardback. It is so pretty. It's got that constellation on the front, and then if you can see, it's got stars all over the back and the spine. It's so pretty, and even in the actual chapter headings, there's like stars all over the pages. It's really pretty. I've read the first chapter of this one, and it's really good so far. It's her typical, very atmospheric writing. I love Shay Earnshaw's writing. Just from reading A History of Wild Places, it was one of my favorite, like, thrillery type books that I read during the fall, so I'm excited to read this. It's about astronomers. And then I have a bunch of random books. I picked up Spells for Forgetting by Adrienne Young. This is another book of the month. Somebody is returning back to an island where there is like some kind of weird old magic, and there's like a love story happening. And then I also picked up A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross. And this is another one where the main character gets summoned back to this island because something's going on with the magic on the island and they need his help. And then I picked up Other Birds, and this is by Sarah Addison Allen, which is another one where the girl's mom dies, I think, and so she's returning to an island where there's like very eccentric characters that live in this apartment building that she inherited, her mother's apartment, and there's like some kind of magical thread in this one. So as you can see, I have a little bit of a theme happening with these books. And like right at the beginning of A Wilderness of Stars, the girl's mom dies and she is like summoned by the stars to go on this like quest. I don't know what it's about. Like there's this whole mystery about like what's going on. So I don't know which one I'm in the mood to read. I was thinking about reading just a little bit of all of these and just seeing what holds my attention and which one that I want to stick with. And then I'll just let you guys know, because that is all that I have going on right now. And other than that, we're just hanging out today, playing video games, relaxing, taking it easy for the rest of the weekend because we are all still recovering. And we will get back to normalcy on Monday, hopefully. But until that point, I'm gonna go and I'll catch back up with you guys whenever I finally decide what I'm reading for today. Hey guys, it's Monday. I did not check in with you guys over the weekend because really there was no reason to. We were still kind of recuperating from being sick, so we did pretty much nothing. We slept, we played video games, and we did a lot of nothing, relaxing. And I did a little bit of reading. I'm almost finished with The Holiday Swap by Maggie Knox, which is a reread. I already talked about that. And then I started Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey. I'm absolutely loving this. I think I'm already 40% through it. And I was probably going to finish it, if not tonight, then tomorrow, because I've just been flying through it. I haven't wanted to put it down. It's so good. I love that the male character is the sunshine character and the female character is the grumpy character, and just like the way that they are like developing feelings and stuff. It's so cute. It's such a good book so far, and I have a feeling this is going to be one of those that I end up liking so much that I go ahead and get myself the physical copy of it, because it's just so good. I can see myself rereading this every Christmas for sure. So far, I mean, as long as it ends well, and I think that it will. Lots of people really like this story. Another book that I am excited for that comes out tomorrow is Anastasia by Sophie Lark. My mind completely blanked. But she did an Anastasia retelling, and it's like fantasy romance. And I'm so excited for that to come out tonight. It's on Kindle Unlimited, so if you like the Anastasia story, maybe check it out if you're interested in a fantasy romance that way, that is set based off of the cartoon, I believe. That's what I was told. So that sounds really awesome, and I can't wait to start that. Other than that, I haven't been reading a lot. I've been picking up The Way of Kings here and there and trying to read a little bit, and I really want to finish it by the end of December. I may not reach that goal just because things during the holidays are always really busy, but I would like to try. I'm almost 400 pages into it, so I have 600 pages left, and I feel like I could definitely do that before the end of the year. That's hardly, I mean, the Mistborn books are almost all like 600 pages, so I feel like I could handle that in the last of the month. But at the same time, I don't want to rush it or anything because I'm really loving the story, which is really, really immersive. I was not sure, like, I actually really had no idea what the book was about going into it, and as I've read, you just get so wrapped up in each of the characters, and then before you know it, you're reading like 50 pages and you didn't even realize that you had read that much because you just get so absorbed into what's happening. It's just really, really intriguing, and I'm loving it. And I also want to finish the Lost Metal, which is the last Mistborn book, but at the same time, I'm like halfway through that book, and I don't want to pick it back up because I'm scared. I'm scared for what's going to happen to the characters. I'm scared for the ending, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it here and there, and I'm trying to avoid any kind of spoilers, but like, I'm just so nervous to finish it. I don't want to pick it back up. But I also need to pick up Little Women again too. When I got sick, I didn't feel like reading much, so everything just kind of went on a back burner. And so I'm trying to bring everything back forward and just pick up things here and there. The books that I am actively reading right now that I need to try to get through before I add more to the list: Window Shopping by Tessa Bailey, Way of Kings, Little Women, Lost Metal, A Winter's Promise. I am still reading that. I read a few chapters the other night. The Holiday Swap, and White Sand by Brandon Sanderson. I'm not sure if I talked about that. It's a graphic novel. I was reading it to fully immerse myself into the Cosmere because I think there's 3 graphic novels, and they are like the beginning of the magic system for the Cosmere, and so I'm trying to read those as well, which graphic novels are way quicker to read. I just haven't had an opportunity to pick it back up because I was reading it on my tablet. So yeah, that's what I'm actively in the middle of right now, and I would really like to finish all of these by the end of December, which may be a stretch because Little Women is like 800 pages long, so I may not push myself on that one, but I definitely want to finish some of these smaller ones. And then I have some other winter romances that I'm planning on jumping into as soon as I get finished with the Holiday Swap, which I think I'm around 200 pages into it out of like 320. Then I'm going to start In a Holidays, and one of my Kindle Unlimited books. I've got several Kindle Unlimited books that are like anywhere between 150 to 250 pages long, so they're not super long, and they're very quick reads, and they're fun. They're fun little holiday stories, and they're free, so like you can't go wrong with free, right? Am I right? But yeah, I think that's really all that I have to update right now because we just haven't been doing very much. Next weekend, I will be doing a lot of Christmas wrapping, getting ready for that. The weekend after that, we're going to be making gingerbread houses and some homemade ornaments. And then the week after that will be right at Christmas, and we're going to be making sugar cookies from scratch and doing all that. And so there's more exciting things to come than me just rambling about the books that I've been reading for like a month now. It's just been one of those months where I've just kind of, not exactly a slump, but I've just slowed down a lot. I haven't been reading as fast as I usually do. I still read, like I pick up stuff and I read chapters here and there, but haven't been on top of my reading this month. Actually, like the past 2 months, I've slowed down quite a bit. Because the beginning of the year, I was reading like 15 books per month. And now, here at the end of the year, I'm reading like 5, if that, a month. So, I have significantly slowed down this year. But, that's okay. It'll all work itself out in the end, right? So yeah, anyway, nothing much going on here. I will check in with you guys when I finish the holiday swap and window shopping, because those two I'm getting close to finishing, and then we'll go from there. I think I want to try to finish A Winter's Promise after that, because I'm over halfway through it and I'm ready to move on to book 2 because I got it and I am excited to read it. So yeah, I'm finished rambling. I'll catch you guys later. Hello friends, it is Tuesday and I am almost finished with window shopping. I read quite a bit last night and I've got over the 50% mark now, and I think I'm like maybe in the 60% mark, maybe. But I also got Anastasia this morning, and check out these illustrations if you can see them. Like, it's kind of got a glare on it. These illustrations are absolutely gorgeous. I wish that you could see it a little bit better. They're absolutely gorgeous, and I'm excited. My best friend just told me that there are 120 of these illustrations throughout the book, and supposedly there's going to be maybe a physical copy where it's like a special edition with all the full color illustrations. That would be awesome. Hopefully that's a thing, because if so, I'm definitely gonna have a copy of that, because these are absolutely gorgeous. I'm so excited to start it. I read like part of the prologue this morning because I woke up super early and it was downloaded onto my Kindle, and I was so excited. But I have taken a little bit of a break from it because I really want to finish window shopping, and I want to finish the holiday swap. I am down to the last 100 pages of this, and I'm still loving it. I don't know if I even said what this was about, but this is about twins who swap places. One of them gets a concussion, and they are both bakers, and the one who gets a concussion is on a baking show where it's like a competitive baking show, and she can't taste or smell, so her sister swaps places with her so that she can continue to be on the show technically, and she goes and takes over their family's bakery in their hometown, and then both of them like fall in love with a person in the place where they are, and it's just a super cute book. And last year I think that I read it too fast, because I read it at a higher speed than what I'm reading it now, and I didn't enjoy it as much. Like, I did love it last year, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying it this year, and I think it's just because I've slowed down and I'm really taking it in, and I just really love these characters. Maggie Knox does a really good job building these characters and their relationships, and a lot of drama that's happening because obviously they're having to pretend to be somebody that they're not, and there's just like a whole lot of stuff going on. It's just so cute. It's such a cute story, and it counts down to Christmas. I think I'm on like day 5 or day 4 going up to Christmas, leading up to Christmas. And so I'm trying to finish this today. I have to take Oliver to a speech class in a little while, and while he's in his speech class, Simon and I usually hang out, so I'll be able to do a little more reading, and I'll probably listen to an audiobook because we usually hang out in the car, and I'm able to listen to an audiobook while he just kind of plays with his toys in the back seat. So I probably will do that, and then once I get finished, I want to finish this one and then really dive into Anastasia. And also the other KU books that I've picked up, other Christmas romances. I feel like I'm accomplishing a lot today, even though like I haven't done a whole lot. I mean, cleaning a house and stuff, yeah, but like reading wise, I haven't done a whole lot, but I just feel very accomplished today. So yeah, I'm going to read some more, and also this one, I don't know how much I've talked about this one, but the main character, the grumpy person is the female and the sunshine person is the male, and I absolutely love that, like, inversion of the typical trope that people do. I did not know that I was going to love this as much as what I'm loving, as much as how I'm loving it. I did not expect that the grumpy sunshine trope flipped over like that would be so much fun, and it's really refreshing to see a character who, a male character, who is just like super happy and bubbly and positive, and she's the one who is like struggling with herself, and I don't, it's just really good. It's a really good inversion of the trope, and I wish that we could see that more often. I would love to see that played out in more books, because it's just a really fun reverse. It just kind of makes it kind of fresh, you know what I mean? But anyway, it is a super cute story. The spicy scenes, like the tension is just building and building, and like the spicy scenes that have happened so far, fantastic. And I am loving this. I can't wait to finish this and see how it ends, and then I'm gonna end up getting the physical copy. That's gonna happen. I'm gonna end up ordering it. But anyway, I'll catch you guys in a little. Hey guys, it is Wednesday and I want to get this posted by tomorrow, so I'm going to close out this vlog. I finished the holiday swap and of course I loved it. I mean, it's a reread, so absolutely loved it. And then I was feeling very Christmassy, and I had a couple of my holds from the library that were coming due soon, so I went ahead and started Once Upon a December. And I read like 60 pages of it, and then I picked it back up. Well, that was like yesterday. I read 60 pages of it, and then I picked this back up this morning, and now I'm like 100 pages from the end. I could not put this book down. I went through all of the Christmas books that were coming out this year, whenever back like in September, I believe, and I chose the ones that I was really excited for this year, and this happened to be one of the ones that was released this year. And this follows a guy who works in this Christmas alleyway, and it has several shops in it that are all Christmas themed, and it's like Christmas year round, and it's called the Yule Market. And it travels around the world magically, so it just like appears where there are Christmas markets happening. And the main character, meets a girl who she's there like with college friends at the time, and he like immediately kind of has like a liking for her. She gives him a gift and he returns the gift, and so he works in a bakery. That's a big part of it too. He works in a bakery, and the baked goods in this sound so good, but he immediately kind of has like some kind of spark for her. But the thing about this Christmas market is that you don't know where it's going to be or when it's going to be, so like every year at Christmas it may not show back up in your town, and the people who go into the market, when they leave 2 hours later, they don't remember like the people that they've met or like much about the market. And so she doesn't remember him after meeting him the first time. And so we're bouncing back and forth. We have the female main character who is a librarian, and she's so quirky. I like her a lot. She's very funny. and he remembers her and just hopes that he'll be in her city every year and never knows when he's gonna see her again. And so, like, it's their story of, like, them finding each other, more or less, and it's so good. It's so cute. It's funny. It's sweet. It has so much Christmas cheer. So this is a really, really cute book, and it's only 303 pages. I highly recommend this if you like magical realism and you want a Christmas story and a sweet romance. Pick this one up because I don't think that you will regret it. This, I have right at 100 pages left, so I'm gonna wrap up this vlog tonight, and then I'll talk to you guys in the next vlog, which starts tomorrow, about this, because I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. And it's just so good. I didn't expect that I was going to love this one as much as I do, but I think this might be one of my new favorites for the holidays. And lastly, I was reading Window Shopping. I'm 85% into this. I accidentally got really invested in Once Upon a Time in December, and I kind of stopped reading this for just a little bit because I was so invested in that one that I read like most of the book today. But this one, I am almost at the end, and I have been actually sitting and reading this one tonight, and I'm going to read some more of this tonight, so there's a very good possibility that I'll be wrapping this one and Once Upon a Time in December tomorrow. So I should be able to tell you guys about both of these endings tomorrow. This one, though, is still really good, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's very steamy. It's more steamy than what I had realized. Like, I expected it to have some, but it's way more than what I realized. So be sure that you are looking for that type of story before you dive into this, because this might take you out of your comfort zone if you don't like that kind of story. So for this week, I have bounced around a lot, reading a lot of different things. I did finish this book. I'm almost finished with this book and almost finished with this book. So I ended up focusing on Christmas books, which is no real surprise because I was really excited to read a bunch of Christmas stories. I'm still really excited to jump into Anastasia. I've got to wrap up these two. I don't want to jump into another book that I'm really excited about. Whatever, I really need to wrap up some of the stuff that I am reading. But my goal for December, I don't know if I ever actually said it, but I only need to read 5 more books to reach my goal for the end of the year. And so I'm trying to actually stick with a book to make sure that I get through with it. And I think I started the month needing 6 books to reach my goal. I've got 1 down, so 5 to go, and these will knock out 2 more, and I'm really hoping to maintain this steady pace because I'm very excited to reach my goal. My goal for the year was actually 100 books, and I reached that goal, and now I set it up a little bit higher back a few months ago to 120, and so I am almost there, and I'm so proud of myself because this has been such a crazy year for me, and 120 books is really awesome for me, and I'm almost there. So I really got to focus. I'll talk to you guys about these 2 books tomorrow because I'm sure that I'll be finished with at least 1. And I hope that you guys have had fun hanging out this week. Next week is going to be way more Christmassy, and I will catch you guys in the next vlog.